This episode contains content and strong language that may be unsuitable for the younger viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh my god, it's a Norwegian horse!
No, the Mongolian horse.
Oh. Welcome to the Heart to Heartland podcast. Here are your hosts.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our very first and probably only live episode. I'm Isabel.
And I'm Soile.
And by live, I mean, technically it's not live, but this is unedited, unfiltered, everything. So this is going straight from here onto the internet. So that's what we mean by live.
Yeah, and we're trying to be as smooth as possible because you might not know that sometimes a lot of editing is needed.
Yeah.
So this is our
Okay.
50th episode, actually.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's been a year now since we started this podcast.
Yeah, this is kind of like our celebration live Q&A video in honor of 1 year. So thank you for coming along with us on the journey. There were so many nice comments online about it. So thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to actually read you one to start off. It's from Mary Catherine. I checked that I can read this.
Okay.
I actually don't think you've read it, but
I'm so bad with the DMs.
no,
You're the
but
one
it's good if you didn't, because it's gonna be like a surprise for you. But they sent this message on Thursday when the 1 year anniversary was. They said, "Happy 1 year podcast anniversary, Isabel and Soile. I started listening to your podcast at the end of December, but really the beginning of January, because the first episode I listened to fully was the Heartland Books one. Throughout the weeks of January, I listened to so many episodes. I was basically addicted to it. Then around mid-January, I decided to follow this account and saw the post asking for opinions on loose relationships. Without much consideration, I jumped at the opportunity to state the opinions I have. As you can see, it didn't take me long to get involved with this podcast and fandom. That surprised me. I have truly enjoyed being part of this community and contributing to your podcast, whether it's giving my opinions on loose relationships or accidentally mentioning something that's on the no-fly list."
Oh my god.
And then they continued, "I believe that this will be one of my highlights of 2022. However, the idea to create this podcast came about. It was definitely a good one. I wish you both a great podcast anniversary and that you will be creating new episodes for many more years."
Oh my god, I got tears. What?
I was like really
wow,
honored to get that, because we just talk here basically on a weekly basis. And
yeah, thank you so much for that comment. Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And before we talk about more how this podcast came to be and answer your questions, we're just going to go through the updates quickly because there's a lot. So as always, we're going to have links in the description, in the YouTube description box. So if you're interested in any of these, check those out. So first we have some updates about new places to watch Heartland. There's something called Pluto TV, like the once planet TV. And then I wanted to give a little more info about that, if that's like a new thing for you. It's available in the United States, Australia, Europe, the United Kingdom, and Canada. And you can check more info in the link. Then YouTube Movies added seasons 1 to 3 for free and legally on YouTube.
Legally. I love how you added that.
Well, because we know that sometimes
oh god, that's
not so
funny.
legally uploaded episodes appear there. So, and then I don't think we talked about this in the last episode, but Netflix US will have season 14 on April 1st. So,
which is like next week, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
so.
it is because of today's. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
And
as you know, I think we talked about it. Up Faith and Family is now streaming season 15.
Yes.
So yeah. Then I wanted to mention there's a lot of DVD scams going around. So if you see a DVD with Luke and Ty on the cover, it's not an official one. So just keep that in mind. I think the only official one so far that's coming out is Australian version. That's coming out April 13th. And I will add the link in the description as well. And keep in mind there's a different regions.
Yeah.
Like you might not be able to watch it on different DVD players if you're ordering it from overseas or whatever. And then
well, that's like, sorry, but like I keep searching for season 14, season 15 on DVD, and every time I think I find it, I send her like a picture or a link, and I'm super excited, like I finally found it, and you're like, no.
I'm like, no, this graphic design is crap, and I'm telling you why, and that's not convincing me.
So E1 needs to get their crap together, because we're like 2 seasons behind right now. So
yeah, I know at first they said it was because of COVID related reasons, but I don't know what's the hold up now, because it's
interesting.
It's been a while. Then some behind the scenes stuff. Amber did interview with Digital Journal about season 15, and Michelle did a similar interview with Media Village. This is because, you know, like I said, Up Faith and Family is now streaming season 15. So, and speaking of that, Up Faith and Family had a Facebook Live with Amber a while ago, and if you're interested on hearing her thoughts about season 15, check that out. Then there's a couple behind the scenes video with the crew around season 15 as well. The stunt double for Amy Lindy Lansbury and product designer Dale Marucci. So a few videos if you're interested in behind the scenes like creation and how everything comes together. And then couple of season 16 teases like we talked about. I think we talked about the dates earlier. They've moved.
But there isn't a season 16 yet. What are you talking about?
I mean, in some alternative universe where season 16 is happening, they have moved up the dates of filming. So right now they're saying they're planning to film the season June 6th and then finish filming September 29th. So that's gonna be like 10 episode slot, I would think. And in that same alternative universe, Kristen Lehman, who's directed a couple of episodes in the past, reposted this tweet from someone who's trying to have more experience in the film industry and is trying to shadow more directors, called Kim Sencliffe Harvey, and they said they're lucky enough to get an opportunity to shadow director Kristen Lehman this season, this summer on Heartland. So like I said, no season 16, but
like they lie every year. We don't know.
Why not say we can't say anything yet? Because they
True,
know.
that does make more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, that girl's literally living my dream. Like, what I would do to shadow a director on Heartland.
Yeah.
I mean, if you said go outside and hit somebody with your car, and then you get to shadow a director, guess what? I'm doing it.
But we're not saying Isabel would do that officially, just so you know, no one's gonna use this in a court.
Oh my god, if it happens on accident and then they use this footage,
Yeah,
oh
like
god.
she said she would do it, so.
Yeah, but like unless of that offer's there, and I'd be sad about it, but then I'd be happy. So
You're like,
at least I'm honest. At least I'm honest.
Yeah. But moving on, a lot of appearances happening right now and in the future. The annual Country Music Alberta Awards happened on March 20th. And Amber was there. She was presenting an award, and she did a performance of the song that was nominated for Songwriters of the Year, called Looking for a Lockdown with You. And they won the category for Songwriters of the Year. So
it was just so cool seeing in-person events. It was like, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I was
that's all that matters.
Oh, this is how it used to be.
Yeah, and Amber looked great. Her dress and her boots, it was just
classic Amber.
It was nice.
Yeah.
She made singing about toilet paper and elevator buttons very, how do I put this? Nobody else can look that good and sing about those things. We'll just put it that way. Like,
and if you're like confused what we're talking about, go listen to the song.
She sings about licking elevator buttons, and I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? This is pure comedic.
They've done songs about stupider things, I feel like.
Have they?
I mean, the jury's still out on that one, but yeah.
All right.
Then she posted a Rambling Rides with Amber social media edition. Again, linked in the description. And the next thing, I actually haven't properly checked this out, but I know Amber did a guest host MC thing with Hell or High Water Telethon that lasted 12 hours. I think she did like 2-hour part or something like that.
When was this? I didn't even hear about that. What?
This was like a week or 2 ago.
Was it on your blog?
Yeah, but I can send you the link if
Ooh, I've never seen that picture before. Sorry, I'm looking on your blog now.
But as you're looking for the link, then Amber is gonna do Face to Face with David talk show this season 4, episode 7. That's supposed to come out this year. I'm not sure what exact date it is, but it's a Calgary based, and there's like an entertainment and fashion and politics section. So I'm thinking she's gonna be part of the entertainment part, but
I freaking hope so.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. And then I know this is kind of old news at this point, but if you're listening to this on Saturday, tomorrow Dempsey Brick, who played Wyatt, of course, will have the last showing of his play Fail to Prepare. So
where is this? In Toronto?
It's US thing?
Oh.
Let me check. I'm trying to keep it smooth and running, but again,
it's a podcast. It's a podcast.
It's in Los Angeles Sapphire Theater.
Huh. Good for him.
Yeah.
Wish it was here, but that works.
Yeah. And then one more thing, Michelle Morgan. We talked about this in some earlier episodes. She's doing like a new movie, and it's coming out now on Memorial Day, which is May 30th.
Oh wow. Okay.
On Lifetime, and it is in fact called The Bad Seed Continues. So it's part of the Bad Seed cinematic universe, I guess. It's like a sequel.
Okay. What? She's in the sequel, but is she in the first one, or is she?
No, only this one so far. But
So
you
does
know,
that mean
who knows? Because it's a horror movie and it doesn't look good for her character. So
So I wonder if you need to watch like the first one, or if there was more than one first for it to make sense, or if I should just watch it because Michelle's in it. And then,
yeah, because I asked Rachel, who I did the Lou episode with, should I watch the first one to kind of understand the concept? And she was like, just read the Wikipedia article.
Oh my god! Oh my god,
okay.
I love her.
But then again, it's like, is it McKenna Grace or what's?
Yep.
Yeah. So might be actually good.
Might be actually good.
Well, you never know.
Love that. I love
lot
that.
of
Okay.
horror movies aren't very good.
I mean, I've only seen like 5, but yeah, I probably agree.
Well, I watch a lot of them, so I would say that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I believe you. I trust you.
Yeah. And then one more update. I think this is your part
Oh
about.
my god! I'm pissed. I'm pissed about it. Whoever, I don't know. Michelle Nolden's chickens are dropping like flies, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
So my sincerest condolences to Michelle Nolden. Oh my god, I'm just gonna cry thinking about it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
She had what's the name of the earlier?
Oh, Mabel? The one I was supposed to come back as when I die?
Yeah, and now
did I like accidentally put a curse on her chickens?
Gertie? How do you say Gertie?
Probably Gertie, I think.
Yeah, probably. And Izzy Googled how long do chickens live, because
I guessed.
Yeah?
I was like basically close to it, because I'm like, why are all of her chickens dying? Like, are they old or are they sick? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I suspect, based from everything I know about her and her relationship with the chickens, is that she probably spoils them, basically takes good care of them. So
well, it's because of her that I'm pretty sure I will be building a chicken coop when the weather gets warmer, because I now see myself as Michelle Nolden's protege when it comes to being a chicken mother. That's my goal for this summer, is to become a chicken mother.
One important question.
Okay.
Are you gonna be chicken whisperer?
No, because that is the one thing that is reserved for Mallory. That's just not
so
right.
You're born chicken whisperer, so that's not something you can learn.
I'm a hamster whisperer. That I've realized since getting a hamster last month, that I'm a hamster whisperer.
Good to know. I mean, I'm not planning on getting a hamster, but
if you have any behavioral problems with your hamsters, please come to my house.
I know they're like different species, but you remember the podcast mouse Remy from your...
Aren't they the same species? No.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's like a
They're cousins.
Yeah.
Hamsters and mice have to be cousins.
Play cousins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's a problem with the mouse, am I gonna call you? That's what's...
I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on speaker, hamster. Like, hey, listen to this, mouse.
Oh my god. Okay, this is wild. How did we get here?
Yeah, but this is what this podcast is about. Like, we give you updates, and then we talk about chickens, and then we move on, like, very naturally into mouse whispering and Yeah. And now on
Okay.
to the questions, I guess.
Yes, so many questions that we're going to go through. And the first one is, how and when did the idea of this podcast come about, and how did you find out about Heartland? So you want to answer that first?
Well, I actually did some digging because obviously we've been talking about this podcast, like we should do a podcast, like jokingly, for a long time, but then something shifted last March, and I went through our like messages, and then
So scared right now.
this is like early March last year. You messaged me, I can't stop thinking about our podcast conversation. I really think we should do it. Even if we aren't in the same place, we can call it the Heartlandians podcast, hosted by you, and I'm there for entertainment. And I and I replied, I mean, honestly, maybe. I've been trying to think how we do it. I wouldn't want it to be too much like a lot of Skype interviews are, that'll delay the audio quality. And then
That's us anyways.
Yeah.
That's us anyways, yeah.
I mean, it's not professional, but it's gotten a little bit better, I would say. And
Yeah.
then later that month, I messaged you. This is like 10 in the morning. I dreamed about the podcast, and now I ordered a headset with a mic. This one. I mean, I'm going to use it anyway, but it definitely pushed my decision. And then you said, oh my God, yay. I'm looking into a mic as well. And yeah, there's some technical stuff. And I remember then we were like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's just try, like, let's record the first episode and see if it's like good or bad. And then when we did it, we were like, well, it could be worse, I guess. And then
it could be worse.
Then we went along with it. But I remember when we were like coming up, like how this would look, like what we would do with it. And I remember being in the shower and think about the names. Yeah, little trivia for you. And I was like, what about Heart to Heartland? And I messaged you. I was thinking names. Is Heart to Heartland a stupid name? I'm open to suggestions. And then you said, not stupid. I've just been thinking Heartlandians. That's all I got. And then I explained I want it to be ours. So not just me and you in with the entertainment part, I guess. So I thought of that, like Heart to Heart, us just talking, but then because it's Heartland related, then it's Heart to Heartland. Yeah.
So clever.
Yeah. So that's how this basically started. And then I remember being very excited when we were like, oh, we're gonna put the first episode out and it's gonna be a surprise for everyone. I mean, we teased about it a little.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. But then as to the other question, was it like, how did you find about Heartland?
Yeah. So you can answer that part too.
Yeah. Well, there's, I think one of our first episodes is more expanded on that. But basically I read the books when I was a teenager. And then I stopped being a horse girl in a way. I mean, in my heart, I always was, but you know, you grow up and other things take more space. And then I remember one summer, I was just like thinking, like, I should read more books. And I kept thinking, like, what kind of books did I like in the past that would kind of make me excited about reading again? And I was like, oh, those Heartland books were good. And then I looked them up online and I was like, wait a minute, there's like a show about this. And then I started watching the show and I was like, I don't know about this. This is so different from the books. But then by episode 5, I was hooked. And this was like 2000, whatever year season 4 came out.
Yeah, so 10, 11. So a long time.
Yeah.
A long ass time. Yeah. I'm sort of about the same. So the show started when I was 7, and that's when I was reading the books, and I'm like, I'm not watching the show. They always turn everything into a show or a movie, and it ruins it, and I was super bitter about it. Especially when I found out that Amy was blonde. Like, I'm like, no, Amy is brunette, thank you. But, so I found the books at the school library, and then I went to the public library, and I was like, okay, one of my friends had convinced me, like, you gotta watch the show. So I like borrowed whatever season 1 part 2, because season 1 came in 2 different parts at some point. So I wish I could remember. I think it was like episode 7. I don't remember. One of the first episode in part 2 is the first episode I ever saw. And yeah, I was hooked. And then the first Jisa episode I ever watched was 111. And that's why I stayed. I watched the show for the books, and I stayed for a different reason.
Yeah, funny thing about that book thing, I looked the rest of the books that I didn't have online, and I ordered them, and then while I was waiting, I started watching the show, and by the time the books arrived, I was like, no, I'm just gonna binge watch all of this. Like, forget about the books. I'm in.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm such an imaginative person. So all the years I was reading the books, I had it pictured in my head how, the inside of the ranch looked. You know what I mean? How these characters acted, like their personalities, how the ranch looked. So it was a big adjustment. I don't know if that was the same for you, but I was like, this isn't what I had pictured. But.
It's in my head, the characters obviously look like in the book covers, and I love that there's this like a foggy feel to the like pictures. So I imagined everything was just like this dream-like thing. And I mean, the show has done a good job bringing that kind of element, that visual like warmness into it, like dream-like thing. So I think I connected more with that before I connected with the show's characters, because like you said, I also was like, no, this is not how they look, this is not how they behave and whatnot.
Yeah. And like now looking back, I'm like, it was casted perfectly. But yeah, that's how we kind of discovered the show and all that. So
yeah.
Moving on. So we had 2 questions about this. So I'm just gonna read them and then we'll answer them. So somebody said, I'm so good at this. Okay. Somebody said, I have missed the reason Izzy has an issue with Ty, or is it GW? And then somebody said, in response to that, I have the same question. I think I have watched most of the episodes, or maybe not the first few, as I only came across Heartland last year. But I don't understand when you do updates, you never mention about Graham's podcasts, which are quite good, and Kerry James is actually editing his podcast now. I know Graham isn't on the show anymore, but your podcast highlights what other cast members that have left are doing.
Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, I can answer my response first. I think first thing I want to say is that this is our podcast. Like, we do it for fun, and it's not like we're like paid to do this, or it's like not like this is our work. So this is just for, having fun. And keeping that in mind, some of you might know, and I think I mentioned it from time to time, that I have a Heartland blog that I've had since like season 5, where I do updates and everything relating to the show. And so that has kind of given me this like a drive to look out for news and updates and things like that. So I give close, what is it, like close, I try to observe closely about things everyone's up to. But I think 3 years ago, when COVID really hit us, I think overall it was very bad for my anxiety because I suffer from it from time to time. And this is relevant for the answer. So because there was a lot of like news about this, like how things were happening around the world, and information, and a lot of things are unknown. And I've had to figure out how to balance that even before COVID. Like, I want to stay informed, but at the same time, I don't want things to overwhelm me. So I had to kind of overall like try to find that balance between information and, you know, having a lot of anxiety around like what's happening in the world, and how could I stay informed while still take care of myself mentally. And after Graham left the show, he's material or like things that he wanted to promote or bring light to had a lot of relation to COVID, or like criticism about healthcare, how things were moving with the healthcare system. And there were some conspiracy theories, and I just found that they I'm sorry they sort of overwhelmed me, and I was trying to find the balance in that as well, like following him because of his relation to the show, while still trying to not be too impacted about the message that, or the feeling that I was getting from a lot of his posts. And so I tried to, for the longest time, I tried to look at it as objectively as I could. But then over time, I found myself getting really anxious of even seeing his like photo or like icon on, like if he had posted an Instagram story or Instagram post or a Twitter message or whatever. And it could be about just like a cute kid dancing, like something really innocent. But I felt like whatever the topic was, it was just like triggering me in a way about the things that he had posted earlier. So I sort of made decision for my own self that I don't want to follow him anywhere online. And it took me a while to kind of make that decision, because I wanted to see what he was up to, but then at the same time, because of the things he kept posting, it was basically all or nothing situation. So I had to kind of got myself out of it. And I told myself, like, let's just see how that changes your, like how I feel. And if I find myself missing him, like let's say a couple of months later, then I'll go back. But as I found, I felt much more relief, and I didn't feel that anxiety about going online as much anymore. So I felt like that was a good decision for me to kind of cut myself out from that kind of material. And so that's why I haven't really gone back, and I don't think I plan to. And I just have to think what's best for me. And I think we all owe it to our mental health to kind of find those spots that trigger us and try to navigate that. And that's why I haven't kept up with what he's doing. And I hope that people will respect that, because it's, he's free to do whatever he wants, and I'm not like saying anything like that, but I just, I've chosen not to follow him because of that reason, and that's why we haven't really done anything updates. I mean, we talk about Ty because Ty's within that Heartland universe. That's what familiar to us and what we talk about. So
yeah, this is something that we like to do positively, and we just kind of stand by that. So if it's not something that positively will affect our mental health or podcast, then we're not gonna talk about it. So that's just kind of the way it is. We talk about this in episode 26, so if you want to go back and watch or listen to episode 26, that's the first and only time we ever mention this. This is just I would love to talk about his podcast, but he blocked me, so I'm not 100% certain what he's even doing. You want to know why I don't talk about him? He blocked me for not agreeing with him. So that's my answer to that. I don't know what he's doing. Carrie's editing his podcast. I saw that. That's cool. Do I have an idea what it's about? Do I have any idea about what's going on? No.
Yeah.
No. So I'm like, ignorance is bliss. I got no idea what's going on because he blocked me. So that's that. That's our answer to that question. So moving on. All right. So somebody asked, how and when did you meet? How did you manage to visit the ranch/set and meet the cast?
Well, we met online. And
good old Twitter. Old Twitter. Oh my God. I was on it illegally too, because you had to be a certain age and I lied about my age. And years later, it caught up to me because I tried to change my birthday and they locked me out of my account. So I had to send them my fake ID so they know that I was, I know. Anyway.
The things you do to, have access. But I actually went back for this because I was interested as well, like, because it feels like we've known forever.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. So I don't have like a clear memory of how like things clicked. I just remember that I knew you and I knew that you were a big fan and you loved Jack and Lisa, and you were you had seen Amber many times, and I was like looking up to you like, oh my gosh, like that Isabel girl. And I'm older than you, but I'm still like, I was fangirling, like
whatever. Oh my God.
So I went back like our Twitter direct messages, private messages, what is it called? I don't know.
Yeah, it would just be like in the DMs, I guess.
So I slid into your DMs back in 2013. And I was like confused because I was looking at these messages and I was like, what am I on about? Because I had like a lot of messages, but apparently you had talked something about Hunger Games. Because I pretty much narrated the like a whole plot to you, and you were like, oh, totally understand now, thank you. And then like not couple of months later, I slid into your DM. I was like, hey girl. No, but I have written my first Jack and Lisa fan fiction.
Oh my God.
And I was like, hey, like, sorry to disturb you, like, but I would love if you'd read it, because I don't know anyone who appreciates Jack and Lisa as much as you do. And it was the Lost fan fiction. I think we've maybe talked about this, or
is it the one where Jack dies?
I actually don't remember. Let me check.
Stop.
But the or was it that when he loses his memory, or
I remember this clear as day because I've never been so traumatized by a fanfic before, but you wrote a fanfic about Jack dying. And funnily enough, Ty's alive in this scenario, and I remember that Ty was with you wrote this, so Ty was with him when he died.
Yeah,
so
that's the one.
Oh my god, that's the
like, dude, imagine me coming into your DMs and being like, hey, I would like to traumatize you. Are you open to it?
And then I was like, take my money.
Yeah, you say, oh, thank you. I'll definitely read it. I love your blog, by the way. So you knew of me, I guess.
Oh, I love your blog. I've always loved your blog.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Your biggest fan.
We were like fangirling each other.
Over each other, yeah.
Yeah. And then you asked, could I share it on the Giza Twitter page? And then I said, thanks. I hope you like it. Just wonder what someone who knows Giza would think of it. And then I said like, I mean, I thought about tweeting to Giza fans, but I see it's followed by the cast and crew, and sometimes people comment really negative stuff to my blog about the show. So I was like, maybe, but like, I'm scared because I always want to stay a little hidden, like just under the radar a little bit,
just like, a little,
yeah, because it's not like I'm doing like anything bad, but it's just like it makes me kind of uncomfortable if people know about me, which is weird, but yeah, just how my mind works. But I don't remember exactly like how I first got to know about you. But then I think from that point on, we kind of kept going back and forth. Like, hey, I saw this and I thought you might like it.
Yeah. And for the longest time, though, for years, I think the only topic we ever talked about was the show and all the actors. And then I think we started to become actual friends outside of the Heartland world. Like, we talk about everything. We don't just talk about the show now. So it's like, and I don't even know when that started. Probably when we met the first time in person, because we've been in person together twice, 2016 and 2018.
Yeah, I think that's when our friendship kind of took a bigger step forward, because it was like we were hanging out outside, you know, Heartland stuff, like in person.
Yeah. But how did we manage? Oh gosh, to get to the ranch set?
I haven't actually been to the ranch set. I'm
from the road.
Yeah, well, I've seen it from a distance, but
yeah. So you've technically been, you've
property?
seen
No.
Yeah, you can see it from the road. Like, if anybody's ever find it, you can see it from the road. So like that counts. The closest I've ever been to. Well, I can't tell that story, but we'll just say I saw it from the road too. That's just because I'll put it whenever I'm in the area. I'll put the address in my GPS and.
This was like, I went there back in 2016 and then again 2018. And 2016, I had no idea where it was because I always felt a little bad about even trying to find it.
No, I agree.
But then we know someone who knows where it is. So I was like, I'm just going to jump into the car and take me there. And I don't even want to know where it is because I don't want to, if it's like someone's torturing me, like, tell me the address, because
oh my god, have I ever told the story on here about someone? There has been times that these people have offered me money in exchange for the set locations, and I was like, if you're that desperate for set locations, there's no way in hell I'm giving you anything. That's terrifying. People don't know how loyal I am to this show, okay? But how did you find it the second time? Did you just remember it, or did you keep the Addy?
So no. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want it in my brain, but we were staying in the area, like just like in general, like High River area and the surrounding area, and we were just driving, and I guess I'm a very visual, like I wouldn't say I have photographic memory, but I pay attention to visual cues in a way. So I was like, wait a minute, this road looks very familiar.
And it's unique. It's a very unique road. That kind of like they conjoin. So it's different. It's like you don't really forget it. Like so, I know that road a mile away. Like I know exactly where I am.
Like I still don't know the exact address, but I know that when we were driving there, I was like, because my sister was driving, I was like, take that turn. Like, let's see if I can find it, because I've only been there once and like I don't have the exact location. But then we drove to that road and I was like, let's take that turn, and there we were. And I was like, well, shit.
Well, once you find like the most treacherous gravel road, you're like, I know where I am.
Yeah.
Because it's bad.
And I've seen some people say like, oh, I just saw it. Like we were just driving past, and I'm like, you can't find it like that. I'm sorry.
But you did. The hell you did. You don't just drive past. That's not possible. It's at a dead end.
Hidden.
You're just driving past.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong if you find the ranch. You just have to stay on this side of the fence, you know, and take your pictures and leave, which is what we normally do.
Yeah. So yeah, I also want to highlight that respect the people who live there, because you know they don't like people trespassing. So
no, they don't.
So that's also the reason why I don't want to. Well, I don't even know where it is, but like that's why I don't personally encourage people to find it. But if it's like, okay, you found it, like, what am I gonna do about that? Nothing.
Take your pictures and leave. Yeah. As for like the studio, so we were invited to a studio together. That was one of the best days of my life. Like
I want to relive that like day over and over.
And that's the day that we took our icon photos in the Heartland bathroom.
Yeah.
There's nothing like visiting your favorite TV set with your internet friends from this.
And the reason why I chose this background, or why I'm in the Heartland kitchen today, is because this is iconic for us. Personally.
We were sitting at that table together almost in like silence for a little bit, because we're just kind of like, what the fuck? You know, like
we're here.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we were invited that one time. I went to set visit once. Sometimes I'd be in the area and like I know people, you know, just kind of happened. I think it was only planned like twice. And then there's like fans on set days you've gone to, I've gone to. Just stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, and it's even when we went to the studio, like I never in my wildest dreams would I have, you know, imagined that happening, and I didn't even like ask, because I knew some people. I was like, you know, I'm just coming to Alberta and like I'm so excited, and that was like it. But then they offered and I was like, well, yeah.
Oh my god, I'll never forget. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'll never forget the fight that happened.
But it's like, it's like I said, I've never wanted to kind of put myself out there, so it was strange that they were like, oh yeah, we know you, and I'm like, how do you know me? Like, what have you heard? Like, I don't know.
They're watching. I learned that the hard way. They see everything.
Yeah, like I said, I'm anxious and I'm like nervous about things.
Okay, we have so many more questions. I'm taking like an hour for everything. No, I know, right? What has been your favorite episode to film so far? I'm assuming the podcast. Katie twins and the Aiden episode. That's
absolutely.
And anytime we have a guest on, anytime we have other fans on, it's always fun.
It just brings another energy into this chaos. So it's hard to describe, but it's fun to do. And I kind of have a soft spot for the episode where we painted. So
because you're good at it.
No, but we laughed a lot and it was just like so silly. And
yeah,
I love that.
We should do one of those again. Do you guys want to see us paint again?
Yeah.
I kind of want to. We should
let
do
us
it.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can paint over the Mallory one.
So whenever the shop.
Really?
Do you see how ugly it is? What the hell am I supposed to do with that?
You can auction it or something. No, but I'm gonna paint over it, so when it's in some museum in Paris, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, there's something underneath the surface. We X-rayed it, and there's a masterpiece underneath.
I'm done with this. Done. Okay. Any cast members you want to meet that you haven't?
I mean, a lot. But like, if you watch or listen to the episode called Heartland Heartbreak, I think it was, that was about my day on set as an extra. I remember being very excited about possibly meeting Michelle and Alicia.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. So that's something I still dream about. I mean, I've met Alicia briefly.
Yeah, you do have a picture with her.
But yeah, she was there, so I was like, oh, I might want to, talk more or something. And anyone really, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think for me, just Carrie and I have been online friends forever, but I've never met him in person, and I want to meet Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to meet all of them, but would I be able to speak is another thing. Because I would be like,
it's bad. It's so bad. I'm like cringing just thinking about everything, because it's like, you guys don't know what it's like, and it's hard to describe, because you want to say so much and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to act, and then you have to remind yourself that they're human, but at the same time it's like, no, they're not. So
yeah, because that's the thing, I always try to keep in mind that they're just people like us, and it's like they're not like gods or like something, but it's like when you've watched them for years, they become this weird part of you, but also not. And you're like, how do I navigate this situation? Because I feel like I know you, but you don't know me.
Oh my God,
I don't want to be weird about it, but also I just want to talk to you as a person to person. And
that's the funniest part about meeting your idols. You know everything about them, and it's like you're reuniting with your old best friend, except they have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm not sure if I would be ready for that, but if the situation would be natural and if they would be chill about it, I'm sure that I would get sucked into that flow.
I can't relate. All right. So, somebody said, how many times have you met the cast?
Well, once.
Okay, twice though, because you were on set and then the SIF, so twice.
Well, what's considered meeting?
I don't know.
Because it's I would say I've met Sean for sure.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it. And
God, yeah.
I've met Alicia briefly because I asked, can we take a picture? But I don't know.
That's considered meeting. Yeah. That's like when people meet their faves, if we're talking about A-listers, people who wait outside for hours upon hours to meet their fave, and all their fave does is pause 2 seconds to take a selfie. They're like, oh my God, I met her. Counts. It counts.
And then I mean, I guess Aiden, but through
oh my God,
video. But
then that counts. It has to count. Please.
Yeah. And then the Katie twins.
Oh yeah. So totally counts. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my count for
Yeah.
meeting them. And
I
like
still
said,
feel so honored that I took your pick with Shawnee.
yeah, it was just like perfect. Like I couldn't have like scripted it better.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was just such a good time.
And if
Oh.
I had been able to meet the cast on the extra stay, fans is extra stay, Michelle was there, Alicia was there, Amber was there, Gabe was there. So, and then Caroline Palmer, who
Oh,
played.
right.
But at that point, I didn't really know who she was.
We didn't know who she was, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that, yeah, I don't know. So that's all I got. So once for all of the people that I've met.
As someone who lives in Finland, though, that's really impressive.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say, because I saw the red carpet thing, because Nathaniel was there, Graham was there, Julia was there.
Oh my god, I love Julia.
Who else? Is that all? Like from the
Who else
other
was
people?
there? Yeah. Oh, Chris?
Oh, yeah, Chris. So I'm not saying that's me meeting them, but I've been in their presence.
Yeah. As I don't know.
Amber, 3 million times.
Yeah, last time I counted, it was in the 30s for Amber. So
really,
yeah,
I didn't know.
But there was days where I saw her like multiple times. Like I saw her at Tim Hortons, and then I saw her again at brunch, and then I saw her later that day at Maggie's. So that's 3 times in a day, 3 separate occasions. So it adds up after a while.
True.
Yeah, like 3 different places in one day. It was crazy. So it was like 30 something for Amber. Who else have I? Sean. Stop, he's right there.
He's like,
I think 7 times. I know, my shoddy. 7 times. Michelle twice, I believe. Alicia, I think, is also 5 or 6. 5 or 6 times. Who else have I met?
Jessica.
Chris twice. Oh my god, Jessica Amley once. I'm saving the best for last. Obviously the Katie twins, Kieran and Jordan. Julia Baker.
Kevin?
I already said Chris.
Oh, sorry.
But Kevin McGarry once. I've met a bunch of guest stars. Like I've met George Canyon, what's his name? The one who plays Prince Ahmed.
Jade?
Yes. And then I've met like Mallory's one of Mallory's season 5 boyfriends. I've met what's his name? This is embarrassing. Nicholas Campbell.
Yeah, I was just about to say, do you mean Nicholas Campbell?
Yeah. And then of course I've met Jessica Steen twice. Best days of my life. Who else have I met? Oh, Graham. I've met Graham about 5 times. Sorry, I forgot.
So it's easier to say who you haven't met, which is Carrie and Gabe.
Guys, it took a lot of hard work, okay? Yes, I'm very proud of it, but it took a lot of work, you guys. Don't just think that it just came easily. That's like 10 years worth of work, okay? Yeah. Oh, and Nathaniel I've met twice. God, that's embarrassing. Who else?
Have you met Jake Church?
Oh yeah, I met Jake Church, and
was he on set that day when you?
And then what's her name? Caitlin Lieb.
Oh, right.
I forgot I met her. Right.
Joanna Hawk was Helen Joy.
Yeah, she was. I will never forget how rude she was. And then Anna Ferguson. I never really met her, but she was sitting like a few rows behind me at the wedding episode.
Did I know this? I don't know.
I don't know. I just kind of. I don't know. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anybody else. Anyways. Okay, this one's interesting to me because I have no idea how to answer. Sort Heartland characters into Hogwarts houses. Okay, so here's the tea about this. I've seen only the first 2 Harry Potter movies, and I only watched them last year. I have no idea what Like, I have, like, I don't know. I only remember, like, 2 names of the houses, and I don't I don't know.
I've read I think the first 3 books, and then I was reading the 4th book. It's the one with the dance, was it? Sorry. I've seen all of the movies, and I'm hoping to someday read the rest of the book, because I know there's a lot of interesting stories there. But it's like I know about Harry Potter, but I'm not like a Potterhead. So
Yeah,
I don't know how good I would be in that. But if you're like really into Harry Potter, like maybe comment the houses, because I know the houses in Finnish, but I'm like,
oh, I love that for you.
Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff,
Slytherin.
Yeah, and what's
That's the only one I remember, because I feel like that's
last
me.
Gryffindor or something.
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, I like that question, and I wish I had a better answer, but I don't.
Yeah, I wish we would have been able to give you a better reply, but sorry.
I know. I'm not cultured. Okay, moving on. Somebody said, what's your favorite thing about running the podcast?
I mean, we text each other a lot, but it's different because it's kind of scattered. But it's like basically like a weekly thing now that we get to sit down and, talk for hours. Yeah. And it's nice because we don't get to hang out in real life, but it kind of feels like that. And then it's like, it's sort of takes our like conversation to a different level when it's not just like voice memos or like short messages or like, did you see this? Because we can expand it more easily. So I think hanging out with you, and then of course, seeing everyone's replies and like messages, like hearing what other people think about things.
Yeah, I agree. I think just being able to sit and talk about what we love the most in the world with some of our favorite people is just, it's amazing. It's fun.
Yeah.
Somebody said, a character you like but didn't expect to when we first met them. Mine is Georgie. Georgie.
Yeah, well, Georgie for me as well. Sorry, people. I know, like,
everybody hated Georgie, though, okay? Everybody did. Don't lie, okay? Everybody did. I adore, like, Georgie is one of my favorites now, but I'm not gonna lie and say I liked her.
Yeah, and it was, like, tricky because Alicia was obviously talented.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm not usually a fan of kids in the movies because they do a lot of stuff that drives me nuts.
And you want to know the funniest part, because like I agree with you, and I'm watching this like, oh my god, I don't like this kid. Alicia and I are literally basically the same age, and I'm sitting there complaining about a kid who's the same age.
But you were like smarter, so
yeah, I was like, that should be me. I'm just kidding. Alicia's like the most talented.
Yeah.
And like it's just been an honor watching her grow up. So like it was never about Alicia. I just didn't like kids. Yeah. Even as a kid, I was like, no, screw the kids. Oh my god.
And it's like I think it really helped that Alicia is who she is, because I was like, okay, I like her, so I'm giving the character a chance. And I think they've fleshed out her journey, Georgie's journey nicely, and I've really come to appreciate her character and all that. Agreed. And another one was Caleb, because he came in season 2 and he was a jerk, and I was like, I don't like him. But then
I can't recall what I thought about him the first time.
Interesting.
I mean, I imagine I wouldn't like him, but I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah. But I wasn't like, because I know that Carrie got a lot of nasty messages at first. So I don't
know why I'm surprised. Of course he did.
Yeah. But I'm never been that kind of like a fan of anything like I don't like this person, I'm gonna let them know, or like
I know,
I don't
like
like this character.
As much as we don't like the characters, we've never stooped to the point of sending the actors hate.
Yeah, because it's
just mind-boggling to me that your first thought is, I'm gonna tell this real life person that I don't like this fake person that they play. It's just insane. That's just crazy to me.
And okay, Aiden, don't kill me for this. Like, at first I wasn't sure about Rick, but I was like, okay, I'm interested where this could potentially go, because I could see it going to the direction that they eventually did.
Yeah, I loved Rick from the. No, did I know that? Because you know my brain's a sieve. Did you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't like I hated him or anything, but I was like suspicious. Like,
yeah, fair enough.
Why is he being like, what's the attitude?
That was the same with me and Parker. Okay, let's be real. I understand where the character fits in now. I love the relationship Parker and Katie have. So
yeah.
But at the start, it was like Georgie. I was like, here we go again. Here we go. But it was good. I like her now, so it's good. It's fine.
I'm trying to think if, because even Val, like, I appreciated her, like, from the go.
Ashley.
Oh yeah, but at the same time,
hated her character.
And even first. Olivia, like, I could see why they were there, and Tim too. Like,
yeah, you have to have crappy characters. It's like it's a show. It's a drama show. You have to.
Yeah, that brings the whole drama and like everything into it. So I've never like been like, oh, I'm gonna make a hate page for this character because I hate them so much. But it's just like, I wish they would like maybe develop the character a little bit more, or something like that. And they have with everyone. I've been kind of like, about.
Agreed. Okay. Next one. Favorite horse and why?
For superficial reasons, I love Venus. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, Spartan is a legend.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And Sugarfoot, like that little rascal. And yeah, I think those are my top 3, but I also really loved Paint, even though there wasn't like much. Just something about the relationship with Jack. It's like,
good point.
Heartwarming.
Mine would be Pegasus, and then because Pegasus was my favorite in the books, like you know, so it was, and then Cinders. Season 7, episode 13 and 14.
Yeah.
Why? You should just go watch those episodes. You'll know why.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Oh my god, we're a few more left. We're going through this better. Okay, yay us. How would you have fixed a plot line you didn't like? Like Mongolia? That's where my mind went. I would have just took the whole thing and set it on fire. That's what I would have fixed. Mongolia. Like Mongolia?
And then season 8, a lot of fixes.
Oh
that
god.
Ty and Amy storyline. It wasn't okay then. It's even worse now.
They slut shamed Amy's character so bad. And the way that Ty treated her was just like, he kind of like slut shamed her himself. Like, what?
Yeah, and it was like,
that whole season is no. That's a hard no.
And that's why the whole wedding thing feels like a bunch of horse crap in a basket. And
oh my god, it was thanks. Bad. Yeah, so that's what I would fix.
Yeah, those are the 2 my most disliked things. That I mean, the rest, you know, there are times when I'm like, I'm not happy about this, but I'm like, I'm letting it slide.
Right. The other thing that comes to mind, it's a season 9 episode in which all of the females, so you have Amy, Lou, Georgie, Jade, was gonna say Caitlin, but it's Cassandra. Was there more? And they're all like lined up. It's like the closing scene of the episode. And where's Lisa?
In the kitchen. She's like, oh, those girls are having so much fun.
She's like, how's the fresh air out there? I'm busy, baby. I'm busy raising your children.
But yeah, like, do you want lasagna or what do you want for dinner?
God. Anyways, okay. Favorite characters who you don't talk about enough so we wouldn't know you love them. That's a good
I don't
one.
know if it's like, obviously I loved Mallory, but
Yes.
I dressed up as her. I don't know if I talk about it a lot, but then I love, like, my favorite character might be Jade. I don't know if I talk about that either, because she's not on much, so it's kind of like,
yeah, take what you can get.
Yeah, and then I loved Casey.
Yeah.
And you know, she as well is not around, and I really wish they would have done more with Mitch.
Oh my god.
Maybe those?
Yeah. I'd say, oh gosh, that's hard. I'd say probably, I mean, I don't know.
You're really outspoken about your love, I would say. Because it's like, I love Lisa, I love Jack, I love Jessica, and it's like, I love Tim, and it's like, wow, I wonder who our favorites are.
Stop, but favorites who I don't talk about, that's like, I talk about all of them. Like, I don't. Okay, I should think of something. Everybody knows who my faves are. Like, I talk about it. Okay, contrary to popular belief, I love Amy, okay? I don't think I've ever actually said that, so there you go.
Yeah, I wasn't like clear. Like, I know you like her, but it's like
Amy. Like, like I said at the start, I read the books for Amy and Horses, and that's why I wanted to watch the show. And then I watched the show, and I stayed for two completely different characters. So I kind of got like washed up in those characters and forgot the real reason that I watched the show. And then I look at my everyday life now, and I'm like I'm going to work with horses after this, you know, like so I feel like I'm 50% Amy and 50% Lisa, you know?
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that that's a aspect. So maybe, I didn't know that. I don't know if because I pretty much like all the characters. So it's like, but you know, it's like, I love Amy too. I love Lou. I don't know, like.
Yeah. I love Caleb. I love Caleb.
So it's like, I don't know if you know this, but it's like, I love everyone, but I would say those four are my like ride or dies.
Yeah, and if I were to think of my four favorites like out of the whole show right now, sorry, I should sit closer to my mic. Be Jack and Lisa, of course. And then probably be probably Georgie and Caleb.
Because it's like, I don't know, it's the thing with me, like I tend to generate towards the characters that are not main characters for some reason, that are not always there, and I'm like, well, I guess this is my part. But you know, it's not like I'm like waiting for them to come back from a war or anything. It's
okay, that's been me the majority for like at least a decade with the character of Lisa Stillman.
Yeah. So
like just oh my god, I do not miss those days when you're like wondering, like, is she coming? Because they didn't say anything, and you don't know if your favorite character's in it, and you watch it and you're like, where the hell is she? I don't know.
Yeah, like hopefully alive at least.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to that one? Any other characters you love that you don't think anybody knows about?
I think that's it. I don't know.
I know, I'm very vocal, like you said. So, okay. Last question. Who do you love most about Heartland? I'm assuming like who your favorite character is. Who do you love most? Probably who do you love most on Heartland?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
probably what that means.
it's like tricky because, like I said, I love Jade, but it's like one of those things, like if Jack were to die, for
I was gonna
example,
say.
I don't like I don't know how I would take that. So it's
that would be
like
my answer too, is Jack.
somehow everything kind of boils down to him in a way. Even of course it's like very like Amy driven blood and everyone else is also part of that, but then it's like or for me personally, it's like you remove Jack, it's like that's gonna be tough. So in a way it's like Jack, but also like Amy, but it's like
both of them, I think.
Yeah. But then it's like, I also love Lou, but then, everyone.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah.
Love that for us. But yeah, we just plowed through all those questions, I think.
Wow.
Let me see.
Thanks for.
Oh, I wasn't gonna read this, but somebody said, "How are y'all so amazing?" It's because every morning. Wait, I shouldn't say that. It's because I drink coffee every morning. Let's just go with that. Coffee makes me amazing.
So how am I amazing? Because I don't drink coffee.
I don't know. Maybe that's just natural for you. I'm not sure.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's this podcast.
What is it? What's the saying? Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's
it's
mental illness.
Maybe it is. No, but seriously, I think there is something there about like if you're not like cool or like a cool kid, you kind of tend to do other stuff.
Know where this is going.
Like I'm not gonna say like that I would be what was the word, amazing?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that's what I am, but I think like I've had to kind of build up my like
you've kind of been you've come out of your comfort zone, I think, with this podcast.
Yeah. Where
you've come into more of yourself. Like,
I
don't know. That's how I see it.
Like, of course, it's like I want to take things seriously, but at the same time, a lot of things that I do are done with a little like wink, like
wink,
like humor attached, and that's kind of like how I try to live my life as well, because
that's how you're so amazing.
Yeah, basically. No, but like I want to keep like a tender approach to the world, and hopefully that'll mean that somehow something
when I
comes out of me too.
When I need to be like calmed down or like just need some positive vibes, I go and talk to Smiley, because she's not like the least negative person on the planet. So that's why she's so amazing. Thanks. I wish everyone knew her like I knew her, because she's like the best friend you could ask for.
Oh, I just love that you are like, because I'm so reserved, and I know you can be a little shy too, but I love that you're like, I don't give a flying duck.
But the funniest part is, guys, I am so shy in real life. So shy. Like very, 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 very introverted. People never believe me, but I am serious.
Yeah, but I'm serious. It's like I'm seeing both sides, but at the same time, it kind of makes me appreciate your like braveness even more, because it's like I know what's happening behind all that, so it's like inspiring to me, because I'm kind of like, sorry, I'm here, like, okay, I'll be out of your way. And
you just say sorry, don't say sorry.
I mean, I'm an honorary Canadian, so I have to say sorry all the time.
If you ever want to become a citizen, I'll like fake marry you. That's the kind of
Ooh.
friend I am. That's the kind of friend I am.
True. I could use that, like.
No, but do it. Do it.
Because it's the funniest
Please.
thing, like, even at work, like, I don't really talk about this side of my life with anyone.
Oh my god, me either. Ever.
But
Ever.
they know that I've been to Canada a couple of times. They know that I have Canadian friends. And they're always like, oh, so you have like some kind of connection to Canada. And I'm like, don't dig too deep. Because it's like,
okay, that's like, oh my god. So I was like, I'm not embarrassed by being a fan of the show, but it's like my guilty pleasure.
yeah.
And trying to explain that to people who don't understand is like you feel, and you look dumb.
Yeah, because it's like,
no. When somebody asks me, why do you love horses so much, I'm not gonna say it's because I watch a horse show my whole life. That's not gonna be the answer. Nobody needs to know that. Thank you.
Yeah, or like, for me, it's like, how do you know about this thing about Canada? And I'm like, I guess I'm just educated. I don't know.
You're cultured.
Yeah, I'm not very like.
Love that for us.
Yeah, so it makes me look smarter, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, good to know if I ever need to kind of have a green card or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna hit you up.
If you know of anybody who needs a green card, like, I'll get married and divorced. I don't care.
So, important question: are you gonna take my last name? Am I gonna take yours, or is it like?
Oh my god, if I took yours, my initials would be IV. Yeah, I want your last name. Give it to
me. Can you even say it?
Like, I mean, I can try. Like, I can definitely try.
And read the rest from this paper.
I mean, I'd butcher it. Like, I can definitely say it, but not appropriately, probably.
Yeah, but the good thing is, Canada has a lot of Finnish people living there. Like,
interesting.
So I would like swim.
You probably have cousins. You definitely have cousins somewhere here.
Yeah, or they would be like, "Are you an ice hockey player or something?" Because your last name. I'm like, yeah, sure.
That's
Look
me.
at me.
That's me. Yeah. Are you so and so's sister? Yeah, and then they like take a picture with you. Yeah,
and my last name is one of the most common ones we have here in Finland, so it's like, yeah, I could be related to anyone.
Stop it. Why are we the same? If I were to go into town right now, 10 minutes away, my last name is on at least 3 to 4 different business signs. Is that the same with you too? Like, your name's everywhere?
Well, kind of. And today we actually were talking with my co-workers, like how their last name get butchered, like even if they're like very Finnish last name, but they're more what's the word, not so uncommon.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I never have that problem because everyone knows my last name. So
love that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we just made it through our first ever live episode.
Yeah, not much editing needed, probably.
Oh, I ain't gonna edit any of this. This is like perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like edit the start and the end so it's not like us just being like ready.
Yeah. Because this is not how it usually goes. And it's not like we screw up a lot, but sometimes it's like, oh, let me check that, or oh, I just had a message or something like random.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
pretty good.
Well, my dog's in here and he'll bark at anything, so that's what I was worried about. But
yeah. But like we talked about before, it's like Amber has a rooster on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And like
I said, guys, I'm half Amy Fleming / Amber Marshall. So
you're from the books. The hair.
Oh my god, am I the OG Amy Fleming?
Yeah.
That's an insult to her. Oh my god. Anyways, I should probably go to work.
Yeah. Sorry.
The horses are gonna be standing there like, we want our lunch.
Yeah, like we don't have a clock, but
where you been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Yeah,
Literally. Yeah.
Literally.
But yeah, hopefully next week we'll have a new episode for you.
Yeah.
I know last week we had to skip.
Yeah, it's been crazy right now with just life and other things. So we do our best.
Yeah, maybe this long episode will make up for you not having.
Yeah, we've been sitting here for 2 hours, so
yeah.
Nice.
Have fun listening, and if you got this far, like, remember to keep your noses clean.
Your powder dry. Peace out.
Yeah.